Members of Parliament, elected representatives or directors of a corporation. Police and the courts, upholders of the law or enforcers of corporate policy. Who do you think you are? A person or a human being? Hello sovereign beings, welcome to the fucking news. Here are the top stories tonight. In the UK, most people think they elect members of Parliament to represent them. But according to history and the law, you are in fact electing directors of a company. A company with a predetermined course, whose behaviour and actions will remain the same, no matter who you elect. These corporations have no authority over you unless you consent to it. And you can only be subjected to their penalties if you accept their paperwork and contracts when offered to you. That offer is actually being offered to the legal person, which is a piece of paper, a legal fiction you have been falsely identifying with. The corporation wishes to form a contract with this legal fiction. But you are not a person. You're a man or a woman, aren't you? Aren't you? Aren't you? Not a piece of paper. Nothing can exist in the legal world without a legal personality and the paperwork to say it exists. So when I ask you for your name, they are not talking to you, the man or the woman. They are talking to the legal personality, a piece of paper. No fascist or evil corporation rules over you unless you want it to. You may not have noticed or realised how often their tyranny and oppression is offered to you and what choices you have. But you do have a choice. You can say no. You don't have to accept the offer of a contract from the corporation. In fact, as long as you haven't committed a crime as defined by law. A crime is defined as being when you cause death or injury to others, danger to another's property or engage in fraudulent behaviour. There is no crime. You are not subject to their authority unless you grant it to them. What if you are pulled over by the police or stopped in the street? What if they intimidate you, or the courts do? Do you feel obliged to give them information or answer their questions? I deny them their lifeline, and I maintain these positions. I peacefully resist all claims against me by refusing to represent the legal personality, the piece of paper. I never accept any of their paperwork, their forms, and no one can make me accept them. I send every letter back simply saying no contract, return to sender. I say as little as I can, prefixing any answers, where appropriate, with the person. The police are not what they used to be many moons ago. In bygone days they were policemen and women. They cared for us, their employers. And they actually wanted to help us. They wanted to solve crimes, they had compassion and a sense of fair play. Now, police officers are revenue agents, plain and simple. Officers who enforce the policies of United Kingdom Corporation Limited on behalf of its directors, the socially dominant, or a few wealthy banking families. That's all very well and good, I hear you say. But I'm not in court for anything. I haven't been pulled over, so what's it got to do with me? Well, if you have a car, you might be surprised to learn that you are not the owner of that car. You might be surprised to learn that a corporation trading as a DVLA owns your car. In fact, you gave it to them. Consider this. Could the government actually take your car away and crush it lawfully if you actually owned it? Isn't theft a crime no matter who's stealing it? By using the process of registering a car, they duped you into handing over legal ownership of your belonging, the car. On your V5 document, if you take a look, you are the registered keeper. The document gives you permission to use the car as long as it's used in accordance with the rules of the United Kingdom Corporation Limited. Your car is legally owned by a company, not by you at all. Fixed penalty notices relating to the owner of the car should be sent to the DVLA or posted back, return to sender with the words no contract written on a sticker stuck over the address window. You are a sovereign in your own right, because you are not subject to the authority of the United Kingdom Corporation Limited, their agents or officers, and any authority over you has to be granted by you. I don't give it to them. I don't sign anything. I don't accept their paperwork, and I don't give them joinder. Just say no. It's a small word. I just say no, 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 no. Many people are afraid to use it, but it's one of the most powerful words there is. For too long we have been tricked, duped and deceived, giving away our freedom to corporations. The governments and corporations, the courts, the police and the councils. Without realising we don't have to. The time has come just to simply say no.